Welcome to PLZ Soccer, our look at the headlines on the back pages of most of the morning papers north and south of the border. Dominating the tabloids up here is, of course, an interview with Scott Brown, the Celtic captain. He picked up a treble at the weekend. He was nominated as the Players' Player of the Year for Celtic at their club awards. He was also given the Fans Award, and he picked up a special award for his 10 years at the club. So he had a treble. He's got his minds on a back-to-back treble as the Celtic captain, and of course he's really stuck the boot into Rangers again. In the Sun, he says, "You're not even second best." Talk about giving them the perfect headline for the Ibrox dressing room, and of course the players when they're getting ready to head across the city to Celtic Park on Sunday for that early kick-off, Celtic against Rangers. Scott Brown feels Hibs are the second best team in Scotland. You can give us your thoughts on that at PLZ Soccer on Twitter, facebook.com/PLZ Soccer. The other interesting little sidebars there, Ian Maxwell is the new SFA Chief Executive. It's possibly the worst kept secret in Scotland. He was, of course, at Partick Thistle. He'll now move into the top job, and I think his main aim will be to try to take football in this country onto another level. Investment, of course, the rewards at every level of trying to get more and more players through the system. He's got to make it profitable as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he tries to unite all the different factions within Scottish football. It's a tough job. Also in the Record, they have an interview with their very own pundit Gordon Smith, who mentions Ian Maxwell and the difficulty he's going to face in that job, because Gordon was, of course, SFA Chief Executive, and basically it's a case of trying to go around all the different groups within Scottish football, try and get them together, try and keep everybody buying into Project Brave as well, which is no mean feat, trying to get the clubs to agree to a certain style of coaching, and hopefully at the end of it, suddenly we have more better technical footballers to call on to make our international side better, and of course it will improve club football as well. So Scott Brown dominates the back pages with regards to that. Andrew Robertson, the Liverpool left back, is talking about tonight's game. It's of course Liverpool against Roma. Can Liverpool get to the Champions League final? Certainly from a British perspective, we certainly hope so. Great chance to build up a lead in the first leg of the semi-final, and Andrew Robertson, a young Scot who's doing so well down there at Liverpool. And also in there's an interview with John McGinn, who basically said, "I'm not Bruni's double." He doesn't want to be compared to him. Different styles, but everybody talking about the possibility of John McGinn going to Celtic. That hasn't quite materialised yet, but good piece in the Sun from John McGinn. And of course, lots of people, Eddie Hunter saying Ian Maxwell is the ideal person. He's a class act who's now the SFA Chief Executive. So that's in the Sun. The Daily Record focuses on if Rangers could land Scott Arfield on a pre-contract, this would be a great signing for them for next season. And as ever, they go around various people that know Scott Arfield and his qualities as a footballer and what he would bring to Rangers. He's out of contract in the summer. Curtis Main, it's been revealed he's cracked his wrist. Will that rule him out of the Scottish Cup final? If he doesn't play in the Scottish Cup final, that'll be a huge blow to Motherwell, who'll take on Celtic, and certainly fingers crossed, we hope that Curtis Main actually makes it for the final itself. And of course Celtic have been unveiling their new strip for next season, which everybody is emblazing across all the tabloid papers in Scotland. And one other little point I just want to get to quickly in the Daily Record is an interview, if I can quickly get my fingers around it, is an interview with Billy Kirkwood, because of course Billy Kirkwood was part of the Dundee United side in the semi-finals against Roma way back in 1984. Yes, amazingly, Dundee United were in the European Cup semi-final. Now, there was allegations there which were confirmed by interviews later that the referee, through a third party, may well have been taking a bribe in that one. It's certainly something that was actually spoken about on Italian TV. So the allegation was that there was a bribe. United had won the first leg 2-0, and amazingly Roma won the second leg by 3-0. And I think it's still painful for Billy Kirkwood 34 years on. They could have been in the European Cup final against Liverpool. And that brings us nicely to The Guardian. A great interview with Jurgen Klopp, who's basically talking about Roma, Mo Salah winning the PFA Player of the Year, and even lets rip with German politics in Manchester City as well. The Liverpool boss, always great copy, always a great read. He's got some interesting points of view, and of course he's showing some of his more caring side as well, and mentions the fact that he talked for 3 hours before eventually getting Mo Salah signing on the line as a Liverpool player, and what a season it's been for him. Can we rule out Liverpool and Salah doing the damage tonight? I certainly hope he can shine for Liverpool in that semi-final. One last piece which I think is going to be a great read for you if you like your football across Europe. Sid Lowe has got a brilliant and emotional tribute to Andres Iniesta. They reckon Andres Iniesta is about to announce he's going to play in Chinese football, but when you look back at all his career, he is a world-class midfielder, one of the best over the last 20 years. I'm sure you would agree, and he's about to hang up his boots. He's got a double on the way for Barcelona. A great way to sign off. Possibly would have loved to have been in the Champions League semi-finals and in the final, but it wasn't to be. But for Iniesta, he leaves the new camp at the end of this season with the fans undoubtedly wanting more. When you think about what he's achieved, Champions League winner, he's won the European Championships with Spain twice, and the World Cup as well. All those winners' medals, the honours are unbelievable. For me, one of my favourite players of the last 20 years, an absolute genius on the ball, and it's a great piece in The Guardian. So that's just a few of the headlines. Coming up at 4:30, Ruffy will be with me here. Simon Donnelly will be chatting to you about the semi-final between Liverpool and Roma. We'll look ahead to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich as well, and we'll discuss some of the emerging stories over today, north and south of the border. Give us your thoughts at PLZ Soccer on Twitter, facebook.com/PLZ Soccer. If you've got a phone, download the app, PLZ Soccer app in Google Play and in the App Store. You can get all the latest news north and south of the border across Europe and globally as well. There are competitions to get involved in. There's also some special offers if you fancy a flutter on any of the games. First goal scorers, who knows? You can get that on the app as well as on the website www.plzsoccer.com. And interestingly enough, on the app, if you press video recorder and want to record a message to us, if your video is used in the show, then we'll send you out a special prize. Could be a brilliant print of one of your favourite players, but it will be something good, maybe even a t-shirt with your favourite player emblazoned on it. So get recording, send in your messages, send in anything that's troubling you in football, and we'll be more than happy to play it out on the show. Join us at 4:30. Ruffy will be here. Simon Donnelly will also be joining me, and we'll have the PLZ Soccer Show. Thanks for watching.